Buonasera, buongiorno, or buon pomeriggio. I've got to get used to this new thing. I keep getting it wrong. Anyway, welcome. It's another Tuesday night. It's another live stream with a home in Italy. My name's David Benton, together with my wife for over 15 years. Can't believe it's that long now. In fact, it's actually nearly 17 years now. We've been helping overseas buyers buy, restore, and move to beautiful Italy. And together with our producer, Tony, we've been running these shows now for about the last 7 or 8 months, and we'll continue to do so every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at, what time do we do it? 7 p.m. This time, every Tuesday. So don't forget, I can't get my words out today. Why can't get into the swing of it today? Don't forget, it's no longer Thursdays. It's Tuesday. It's every single Tuesday, as it says on here. If it's the first time you're joining us, then welcome. Don't know where you've been for the last few months, but welcome anyway. I hope you enjoy this session, and I hope you will join us again and again and again. Okay, so tonight's live stream, we're talking about be prepared for everything. We've got quite a few things to get through tonight. Actually, I was writing it earlier, thinking what we're going to talk about, thinking that it's not really going to make much of a show, but I think I've probably filled it up. So there you go. This is going to be, hopefully you're going to find this one a useful one tonight. And we're also going to talk about some new services that we've got up and coming soon that's going to help you guys find your dream property out here in, hopefully in Abruzzo, but somewhere in Italy. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Be prepared. I can see people now coming in from YouTube and coming in from Facebook. So let us know where you are in the world. Write in that chat box. Tell us, Pete from Pacentro. Pete, look, he's back. Let us know whereabouts you are in the world, and send us a little message just so we know we're not sat here talking to ourselves or me talking to myself. It's already strange enough for me just to talk to a webcam, but there you go. Okay, so what else have we got coming up? What do I need to tell everybody about, Tony? I need to what should we do first? Let's talk about the up and coming shows. So next week we've got a full program going right up to Christmas, which I can't believe. It's nearly December. Unbelievable. 28th of November. That's next Tuesday. I hope these are all Tuesdays that we've written on here, Tony. I think they are. Yes, 28th of November, My Abruzzo. It's a special edition. Why is it special? Because we're going to have a few guests on that have been on our latest tours from October. So we're going to have a few couples coming on telling us about their experiences while they were here in Abruzzo, and obviously giving a big thumbs up for the tours, which I'm going to talk about shortly. So that's going to be next Tuesday, My Abruzzo special edition. That's going to be a great one. Then 5th of December. The Christmas period. Cost of living in Italy. We haven't done this one for ages. So we thought we'd do this just to bring a bit of an update to how much life is when you actually move out here. So that should be a great one. That's on the 5th of December. And then always on Tuesdays. Remember, Tuesdays, not Thursdays. 12th of December, we're going back to meet the home buyers. That's going to be a great one. We are going to get Pacentro Pete as well. We should have had him this month, but a few things made it so I couldn't get hold of Pete. But this meet the home buyers, I have to push another family in first because they're not available on the other spots that I was going to give them. It's going to be a special one, that the meet the home buyers, because it's a couple that are remote buying. And they're not due to buy until January, so it's meet the to-be home buyers. But they came out today to have a look at the place. They couldn't resist it, and even though they paid deposit and everything else, they came out today to look at their amazing place. So that's going to be a great one, because it's a great young family, and I'm really excited for them, and you're going to find out all about what they thought of things. Then on the 19th of December, we've got the big, massive, who thinks of these titles? The big, massive Christmas party. And that's in a few weeks' time. I mean, that's just going to be amazing. Basically, what it is you're going to tune in this for an hour and just watch me drinking wine. So that should be a great session. No, we're going to have a few people. We're going to have some meet the home buyers from the past. We're going to have, hopefully, David Nixon's going to pop in, the currency guy. We're going to have a few special visitors that's going to come along and say hello to everybody. And I may even try and convince my wife as well to join me on that particular session. So we'll see. But that's the 19th of December, which I can't believe is only a few weeks ago. Unbelievable. And then we're going to be closed for a couple of weeks. Oh, I can hear. You're all upset. I can hear that. But there you go. Anyway, so keep writing. Let us know where you are in the world. And while I'm talking away about some of the things that I want to tell you, we'll then get on to our subject tonight, which there's quite a bit to cover. And as I say, it's called Be Prepared for Everything. And there's a good reason why I want to talk about this tonight, and I'll go into that shortly. Other things I want to tell you, remember, if any of you guys for 2024 need rental properties out here in Abruzzo, have you noticed how quick Tony's putting these? It gives people 1 second to read them. And now he's going to leave them on really, really long. Anyway, anybody wondering who Tony is, he's the producer. He's in internet land, and I'm going to turn his camera on soon and just give him a bit of a shock. Anyway, no, anybody looking for rental properties in the Abruzzo area, so around Sulmona, Vittorito, Raiano, where else is there? Pacentro, a few other places, then Palombaro, which is over my side of the mountains, Lama di Pelligna, and soon to be Atessa. Anybody looking for rental properties in any of those areas, then please get in touch, info@ahomeinaitaly.com, and we'll put you in direct contact with the sponsor or soon to be sponsor of these live streams. And we're going to put in a lot more information on our website about all of these new rental properties. That's just going to be fantastic for people. Going to give great offers to our listeners, and yeah, it's going to be available for long-term, short-term, whatever you need. So if you are interested, please email us. At the bottom, it says email info@ahomeinaitaly.com. Give us your name, obviously, and also a telephone number. If you can put WhatsApp on your phone as well, that would be fantastic. And that's usually how we get in touch with people. So that's that. What else have I got to cover tonight, Tony? Oh, yes, the tours. Don't forget next year's tours. January is full. There may be the chance that January we may be able to put another 2 people on. I will know in the next few days, and the reason for it is I think I've accidentally booked too many people on, so we're gonna have to put another vehicle on. So we've got a coach, we've got a smaller minibus, and I may have to then add a car on because it was a slight error of mine. Sorry, I've done that in March, and I think I may have done it in January as well. So January and March, there may be a couple of seats available on that. As it is at the moment, you can't book it because they are classed as full. The April tour, if I can just put this on for a second, Tony, if I can just take over the screen for a second. April the 18th and 19th, there are only 7 places left on that one. And May the 23rd and 24th, there are 10 spaces left on those. So if you are interested in booking that, go to our website, www.ahomeinaitaly.com, and click on the tours button. Okay, speaking about the website, I know I promised that it will be done by the end of this month, and it will be done by the end of this month, hopefully. It will be. It will be done. It will. I'm working very hard on it. It's going to be done. It's going to be updated. There's going to be some great properties. Hi, Dave. Kath from London. We met in 2016 at a place in the sun. Hi, Kath. I probably can't remember it, but I'm sure I would if I saw a photograph of you. I'm not saying send a photo. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, so yes, the new website will be up and running, and I'm going to tell you a few things that's going to be on there shortly as well, because it sort of all relates into tonight's session. Okay, so before we get started, I want to have one of my, and I have not done this for a while, I want to have one of my moaning moments. So, and I need you to pay attention now because it's quite important, this. You ready? I don't like doing my moans, but every now and then I will have a little bit of a moan. Tony's changed the banner. Alert, Dave's moan. Very funny. He likes his little jokes and things like that. Hi from Hungary. I thought you said, hi, I'm hungry. Anyway, there you go. Hi from Hungary. Hi. Let's talk about something that somebody put a post on social media, and we all know how much I love, hate, whatever you want to say, armchair experts that think they know things that they know absolutely nothing about, which is why we do these live shows, to try and get the truth out there. Now, I've been contacted by a number of people. Tracy, we will be doing the autumn tours. Sorry, I will be publishing those soon. I was gotten in touch by a number of people yesterday. No, sorry, Monday I think it was, when I came back into work after the weekend. Everybody panicking, saying, "Is it true that there's going to be no 7% flat tax rate starting from next year? Is it true that the Italian government are going to put it up to 50% taxes and blah, blah?" And I got all these different emails coming through, and I had no idea why. So a quick search on social media found somebody put a story, and then, as per usual, you get all these armchair experts that know very little about many things, and what they know even less about is Italian taxes and the way things work. So I just want to talk about, because I'm sure some of you will have seen this Facebook post. I want to put your minds at rest and tell you what it's about. So basically, the story was about somebody that was living in Italy, or been living in Italy for 9 years, the last 9 years, and now they want to move to Portugal because they're saying that they're making life difficult by putting up taxes in Italy, blah, 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 blah. So we are moving to Portugal. And they made this big story about it. Now, this person, I mean, the story is terribly written. I don't know who's written it, some garbage press. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I've said it anyway. But in my opinion, it was terribly written and very... anyway, so this particular person had taken advantage of some of the excellent tax rates that's been around for a while now for people moving into Italy that have certain types that do certain types of work, certain types of professional work, because what the Italian government wanted to do is try and get young professionals, young being employable age professionals, to move to Italy and giving them a great tax incentive to do this. So this particular person has taken advantage of one of these tax rates, which is fair enough. They were there to be taken advantage of, where basically you pay taxes on 10% of your income, which is incredible. So if you earn 100 grand, you pay taxes on 10. Now, this person has enjoyed that for 9 years. It runs out after 10 years, or did. I think they're going to shorten that as well now. Had these great tax incentives, and now he's complaining that, you know, the government's going to put it up to 50%, probably for his last year. But it runs out anyway after 10 years. Now, first of all, I think you're pretty lucky if you manage to pay taxes just on 10%. And what the government have done is not a bad thing, because what the government are saying is we need to give incentives to people to come out. Obviously, they want young professionals. They also want retirees, which is why they brought the 7% in that we're going to talk about in a second. But what they're saying is it's not fair that somebody from the outside moves to Italy, pays taxes on 10% of their income when Italians are taxed so hard, and they think it's an unfair balance, especially at 10%, because that really is. It's a fair old discount, isn't it? If you're earning whatever and we're just going to tax you on 10% of what you earn, you know, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth for the locals. So what they've done is they said, we're going to move that up to 50%. They're not going to tax them 50%. They're going to tax them on 50% of their income instead of 10%, which for me is still a great deal. You know, you get an income and you're only going to be taxed on half of that. Whereas an Italian that's been working for years and years and years and years and paying lots and lots of taxes won't get that kind of incentive. So you can see why the government are doing. What they've not said is that they're going to do the same and tax. I've been getting emails from people saying, is it true that they're going to tax us at 50% rather than 7%? Why would anybody move to Italy? Why would people? You need to all relax. Okay, when I read the article, straight away you could see they're talking about self-employed and employed people. But to be 100% sure, I contacted our resident Mr. Grim Reaper himself, Gianluigi, our tax advisor, who is coming in on the 16th of January, and he's going to be talking about the 7% tax rates and things like that. I actually call him the Grim Reaper. It hates that, but it brings bad news, doesn't it, everybody? All tax advisors do. And he also did our tax returns for this month, and I'm just not happy with him. So, so a great person, absolutely fantastic. And I spoke to him and said, Gianluigi, have you heard anything about the 7% tax rate? Is it true? Is it going to be changing? Is it going to be doing this? And he said there is nothing on the horizon for that. So your 7% taxes, that flat tax that you can pay for 10 years, whatever it is, or it's almost 10 years, is still going to be available. So it's written all over the internet that it's still available. It's coming from an excellent tax advisor, and it's coming from me as well. So even though I'm not as important as all these other people, but don't worry about your 7%. Get rid of the armchair experts. Just delete those posts. You don't want to read them because people jump in. When I look at some of the replies to this, people are jumping off and talking about something else and talking about another thing, and it really drives me insane. But you're fine. The 7% is fine. All that's happening is if you're thinking about a nomad visa or one of these professional expatriate, whatever they're called, visas, instead of being taxed on 10%, they're proposing that you're going to be taxed on 50% of your income. That's what they're proposing, and it will probably go through, and I understand, but it's got nothing to do with the ERV, the elective residency visa. It has nothing to do with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, relax. Okay? That's my moaning moment. Finished for this evening. Okay, you can turn that off now, Tony, if you like. So where we're going to start, let's start at the beginning, shall we? So I'm talking about getting prepared tonight. What I wanted to do as well is give you little bits of information on some of the services that's coming up that's gonna help you, and then we're going to go through some of the things that I need you to make sure you prepare for before you suddenly get into what it is you're going to be getting into. And the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I want to talk about this subject tonight is for the last year, we have done an unbelievable amount of remote purchases. We're completely set up and ready for it. We have a great system between us, between the notary, everything. For me, it's a brilliant system. It came as a shock to us at the beginning of this year, because in the 16, 17, 18 years I've been doing it, I think in the past, remote buyers have probably been 1 or 2, something like that. This year, it is unbelievable how many people are remote buying. What I have noticed, and what usually happens with things like this, is people get excited about it. They think, okay, yeah, I know we can remote buy now. Let's just buy that. Oh, that property looks great. Let's just buy this. Anita's saying it's nice to see you the first time when we're on Italian time. Anita's getting herself a fantastic place as well. So it's sort of, it's been, what's been happening recently is so many people are just choosing houses almost like they're sweets and say, yeah, we'll have this, we'll have this, we'll have this, and all of a sudden problems are now starting to occur. And it's you get people that are getting themselves into things that they're sort of not quite understanding the repercussions of what they're doing. The pensions, the tax, we'll talk about that on another. I don't want to talk about taxes tonight. Tony's starting to put questions that's not relevant to tonight's subject. Tell him off, everybody. Sorry to that person, but we will answer the questions when we talk about tax and things. So, and there's a few people that's contacted me recently that said, I've signed a contract because we found this house, it's fantastic. And I said, whoa, you've signed, what contract have you signed? Show me. Have you sent any money? What have you done, basically? So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. I know people get excited about remote buying and about they see, I mean, from our videos, the reaction is fantastic. It really is fantastic. But you need to be dealing with people that are prepared, that can actually do something for you, because there's quite a few YouTubers out there at the moment that are doing very similar things to what we're doing. But have they got are they businesses, first of all? How can they help you move things forward? How can you, and so many people are contacting, I'm not sort of going to name anybody or anything else, but contacting certain people and saying, I want to do this, and getting involved in something that all of a sudden then they're panicking because they've got a ticking clock. They've signed a contract. They've paid deposits. They can't get back to Italy in time. They thought that remote buying meant that somebody else could sign for them, that they didn't realize that it had to be signed in front of a notary in the country that they are. They signed in front of a notary, the country that they are. That got a stamp. They sent it back to Italy to find out that wasn't good enough because you need to do something extra. There's all these things that you need to be dealing with, people that are geared and ready to go. And I understand the excitement of, owning a property in Italy, you see something, it looks amazing, you've had a bad day at work or whatever, and you think, you know what, I'm going for it. I understand that because it happens all the time, but you need to breathe and stop and listen to what we're going to say. Wendy, you've been unbelievable in helping us with our complicated situation. This is going to be a great Meet the Home Buyer, and I am so excited for these guys that I'm not saying nothing because but this is going to be a great Meet the Home Buyers, a great couple, and I just can't wait to finalize their deals. Okay, so people are copying your format, riding the bandwagon. Newbies. It's true. I don't know. It's great. It's great that these channels are popping up, but I want to say what happens then afterwards. I contact you. Who am I contacting? Who am I speaking to? Can you help me? Can't you help me? You know, people say, well, we haven't got a business. We just do this for the fun of it. Okay, right. But be careful. And most importantly, don't sign anything until you know exactly what's what. So what I want to talk to you first is about some of the new things that we're putting in place, the reasons for putting in place, and then some things that you must make sure you do if you are going to take that plunge. So first of all, and some of this is going to be on our new website. You've seen this before, the new website, which I'm supposed to be getting done by the end of this month, and it will be done by the end of this month. So there's 3 different types of clients, in my opinion, and these are the 3. So we've got, it's as easy as ABC. Do you like that? I was going to put 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3 ABC. Anyway, difference it make. So there's the A crowd, the early stages of my search, and need more information on the whole process and area. Okay, be ready to visit the area to help narrow down locations and or ready to start viewing properties in person. C, looking to buy immediately and willing to do everything remotely. Okay, these are the 3 categories where our website, this new website that's supposed to be getting done at the end of this month, is going to go down, where you need to choose your category, because that you can have the best information that is relevant for you at that time. What's that got to do with tonight? I hear you saying, just bear with me. I want to give you a few things about 2024, because again, this will some of our services will be changing, some of them won't be. The live streaming sessions will always be free. So no matter what we're planning on doing, and some of the things that we're planning on doing are going to be paid for, and I'm going to explain all these and explain reasons why, and why I feel this is all going to be preparing you. But the main core of everything are these Thursday night sessions. They are always going to be free. Tony's shaking his finger about something. He's telling me something. I have no idea what he's telling me. Anyway, hopefully everybody can hear. If you can't hear me, if somebody can let me know. He always worries me when he starts doing something. Now he's trying to write something, and I can't see anything you're doing, Tony. There. Oh, Tuesday. What are you saying Tuesday for? Why did I say Thursday? Anyway, sorry, Stamps is saying Tuesday. You said Thursday. Can't believe it. It's because I've been doing it. Okay, my fault. Are you sure? I said, I'm going to check the replay on that. Anyway, it's every Tuesday. They will always be free of charge. I can't believe I said that. Lorraine's saying yes. I didn't. Okay, I did. Sorry. So every Tuesday, these will always be free. This is the core of our business. This is us reaching out to you, because unfortunately, when people send me an email and say, I really want to have a chat with you, I just can't. I haven't got the time. It sounds horrible. I hate doing it. This is my way of speaking to people. And there's going to be more things where people can stop saying hi to Tony. Tony's going to start putting some of his... Nobody mentioned Tony. Let's pretend he's not here. But we're going to be putting new things in to help you guys to get prepared. But these will always be free. And every Tuesday, not Thursday, as Tony mentioned, at 7 p.m. Italian time. Okay, so remember that. Next, one of the new things for 2024, a friendly agents list. What's the friendly agents list? A friendly agents list is going to be, and we're going to mail shop people. It may be that nobody wants to do it. It may be that hundreds want to do it. It's going to be full of agents that are willing to work with a home in Italy who will not charge you guys a commission. So instead of a commission payment, you'll use a home in Italy for services to help you purchase the property and act as your power of attorney when needed. In other words, we can't charge you a commission, which we can't anyway, because we're not estate agents. We cannot charge you a commission. What we do charge, Somebody's written Tony who. You didn't put that one on, did you, Tony? I'm going to put that on. There you go. What we charge is for a service. Okay, what's the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is we don't just ask for a commission. We can't, because we're not licensed estate agents. We are registered consultants, and we charge a service to get you over the line. So when you're there, sat wherever you are in the world, and say, I want to buy this property, and all of a sudden you get yourself in all this trouble and get yourself signed up to a contract, and then you say to the agent, or the agent say, can you send me your codice fiscale, for instance? You say, I haven't got one of those. What is that? Can you send me a power of attorney? Are you coming back to it today? Well, no, you never told me about it. It's not for the estate agents to tell you that. That's not their job. They're there to sell houses. People are rushing into things and thinking about it afterwards. So again, I'm going to go through all of this. That's why we want to do the friendly agents list, because these will be people that, let's say, for instance, we have a friendly agents list and you want to book to see some properties, or you want to buy one of their properties, then you can do it through us, that we then email them. And what that means is then they know that they can't charge you a commission. You deal with us. It helps you guys because it's somebody on your side speaking your language and all the rest of it. It helps them because sometimes they don't have any systems in place to deal with people overseas. That's so many of them that don't know. They wouldn't have a clue, how to do the power of attorney, when it comes overseas. They know how to do it here, but when it comes to sending one to the US, or maybe it's one that goes to Canada, it's a completely different version. Maybe it's a power of attorney that goes to the UK, how the notaries work there, that's different to the notaries in the US. What you've got to do with that power of attorney, how it needs to be registered, and then have they got a translator when it gets to this side, because you've signed a power of attorney in English, it needs translated in front of the notary. There's so many things. So I think this friendly agents list is going to be a great one. What we're also going to do is for agents that don't want to work with us, and you suddenly say, Dave, I really would like for you to be part of it, we're going to have, I'm going to call it the Lean on Me service. I don't know why. I can't. I was singing that song earlier, and it's just stuck on my stuck in my head. And it's just going to be a service that we will be part of it. If you're buying even with somebody else, but will be a small part of it. We'll just be that person that you can contact and say, Dave, they've said this to me. Does this sound normal? Can you have a quick look at this contract? That we're not solicitors. I can't give you legal advice, but I can give you from our experience of these many, many years of what sounds right, what sounds wrong. So that's going to be a new service as well. I am going to go through all the things that you need to be asking and things like that. And some of the things you need to look for now, but these services are going to be great because you will get a list as well sent to you of questions you should be asking to agents and that sort of stuff. The next change, this is the paid for things. And I know some people are going to say, here we go, but don't forget that these Tuesdays, not Thursdays, see, got it right, will always be free. Remember that. So you don't have to do any of this, but obviously it helps the channel, it helps everything else. If we are investing on the channel, we're going to get some new cameras and do some other things, but that's going to be something for another day anyway. So the new Patreon page, what's that going to be all about? So $7.95 per month, which is $1.85 per week. Just sounds better, doesn't it? There's going to be discounts available on selected services. One of them is going to be this Lean on Me service that we're going to do. Do you like that name? Does that work? Tony, does it work? Always put his thumbs up. Must be quite a good name then. So discount on selected services. There's going to be a few out on location photographs. A bit like today, we've been sort of going to some new places today, and I want to put a little bit more for people to see. Then we're going to have a new community forum. Now I can understand some people saying, well, that's not fair. I want to be part of that as well. It's going to be a different, because what I'm trying to do is get away from armchair experts. I don't want this sounds awful. I want all of you guys to be on here. I'm sorry we have to do these paid for things, but forums and things like that, to get them right, they do cost. And with Italian taxes, we're not doing this to get rich out of it. We're doing it to cover our costs. But what I want to do is I've been wanting to do this for a long time, is to create a community with you people. So it's not just about these Thursday evenings. It's also gonna move into a forum as well. As I said, but these will Thursday. I've said it again. Tuesdays. Tuesday. It's not just about these Tuesday evenings, but I want to get a forum together where if things like, I'm going red, aren't I? I've not blushed for ages. You can tell because it's going against my grey hair. Um, I'm getting completely lost now. What was I saying? Nice. We can fight amongst ourselves in the Zoom meetings. That's true. That's going to be part of it as well. Anyway, so what I was saying, the community thing for me is important because when stories like this come out, that's just come out last week that I moaned about earlier, it's we can talk about that and discuss it straight away on the forum, and I can contact somebody like Gianluigi, who's the expert on these things, and say, look, is this true? And then you can get a good night's rest rather than worrying about it for a week until I moan about it on a Tuesday evening. So that is going to be. But again, I don't want people to say, but I don't want to pay that. You know, you're still going to get this. None of that's going to change. This is just for people that are maybe at the B stage. The people that are at stage C, then there's something for them. Now, again, some people may say, well, this is not fair. They get to see the new property videos. But this is aimed for people that are ready to buy, because not everybody is. And I think, before I go on to that particular package, is when we do our property videos, people get really stressed out and really worried that that's the only property in the world. And people get upset when they miss out on it and all the rest of it. It's going to be, it's not all about the video properties. There's so many properties that we've got that we have available for you to view. So that's why we tell people to come on the tours, come and look at the properties on the tours, come out and look on your own. You don't have to worry if you missed out on a one from a video. And in the same breath, you may not be ready now, so it doesn't really matter to you, you know. But the videos are there for you to keep looking at them, to see the kind of what properties are like here and the kind of properties you can get for your money and all the rest of it. But for people that haven't got the time or don't want to come out, there needs to be something extra for those people as well. So hopefully I'm not segregating anybody. We're just putting people, because there's loads of people that will say, there's no way I would remote buy. There's loads of people that will say that. That's fine. So you're in a different section that you can get what you need from this. You might be right at the very beginning, so you don't want to pay anything. You just want to keep watching these Tuesday nights and all the rest of it. And that's why we're doing this, to prepare you all the stage that you are. Pete's saying, I like the community forum idea, but I won't need the property visits. Any chance of including access to the forum for those who've brought through you? There is going to be a section for people that have bought already, because I think that will help the forum. So I'm glad you said that, Pete, because that is something that we are going to do, that we're going to look at something like that to include, I don't know, the first sort of 20 people or whatever it is, to get some people on there that will then sort of be part of the team, if you like, to help other people doing it. It can't be, unfortunately, everybody in the future that buys, but there will be an initial amount of people that buy. And the idea is that the $7.95 a month, which is very little, is going to go towards new equipment and things like that for the videos and that sort of thing. But that is going to happen. My property was not on video and it's spectacular. Oops, stunning. Your place is, Ron, true. And I wanted to put your place on a video, actually. In fact, I may need to talk to you about that. Okay, so the second package for Patreon is these people that's sort of further along, not further along the line, that are ready to go. So you get everything you get on package one, plus one monthly group Zoom meeting. That should be a laugh if there's however many people on there. The idea of that is, again, because I haven't got the time to do one-on-one with people because of how many people ask for it, which is fantastic. But the idea of those sessions are a bit like the Q&A sessions that we do on here, but they're going to be obviously more relevant for people that are further along the stage, that are, I don't know, maybe they've got the contract in the hand and they want to talk about it. And then they'll have access to the new property videos slightly before. But again, that's for people that are willing to buy straight away. You know, I'm not putting preferential treatment to those people at all. It's just a way of saying, look, if somebody says to me that, I've watched for a few months and he's a decent chap, in my opinion, I'll definitely use your services when I'm ready. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The idea of these things is, if you are sat there and thinking there is no way that I would buy remotely, that is absolutely fine. great. It makes no difference to me at all. It's obviously great when people do buy remote. We just want to get people in the right sections, because it's pointless you paying for access to early videos if it's not something you would even consider. Pointless. What you need is something else. Or you just need to keep watching these videos and come out on tours and that kind of thing. And what we will do then is once we put people into their places, so to speak, then the idea is that within those pages on the website, which is why it's taking me a little bit longer than what I thought, but the idea is that within those pages, there will be extra information for you guys. I've mentioned it before that maybe you're coming out to view, but you don't actually want to view properties. You want to view the area. And some people try to sort of book us out because they think that we'll take you around the area. It's pointless, because it's pointless me showing you houses if you're not ready to buy for another year. You may as well get some extra information sheets that we will give you with planned routes, places to visit and all that, and make use of your time. And that way, then we get a relationship together. We create this community together to make, I don't know, get you to that point where you're ready to buy. Okay, so that's some of the changes that's happening about preparing you guys ready for the adventure that's to come. What I want to talk to you about now is those of you who are ready, and maybe you're not buying through us, maybe you're going through whatever else. These are some of the important things that you need to be aware of if you're just going to jump the gun, or maybe you've already jumped the gun, maybe you've already started it. Tom's saying, will this subscription start at the end of the month when the refresh site? I wish you wouldn't mention the site, Tom. Yes, it's going to be, it may even be 2024 when they come out. I'm not in a huge rush. I'm trying to get the site done first. But yes, and it will be a monthly thing, and people can cancel at any time as well, or they can go from one package to another, and so on and so on. So that's yes, that will come. It will all come soon. Okay, so let's talk about some of the important things. So if a few people have contacted me this week and they've already, that's kind of you to say that, Al, your advice and your experience is worth the cost. That's very kind of you. But as mentioned earlier as well, if people don't go on Patreon, it doesn't matter at all, because these Tuesday nights will always be here, and everything we're doing now will carry on exactly the same. These are extras if people want to do it. If they don't, it makes no difference. I really want people to get into the tours, because they're fantastic things. And yeah, if people want these other services, then that's great as well. So really important things. I've had people contact me recently that are all worried now because they've got all these deadlines in place. They've signed the contracts. But if you are at that stage, these are the questions that you need to be asking people. Molly, we do mainly the Abruzzo region, but the list of the friendly agents hopefully is going to be all over Italy. We'll talk about that on another one. Okay, so the most important thing that you need, you cannot buy a house without a codice fiscale. I've mentioned this so many times. There's a tax code. You can sign certain contracts without it. Tammy's saying we've applied for our codice fiscale to get prepared. Fantastic. I'm going to quickly show you how you apply. Now, if you're using our services, then we will get you a codice fiscale. We can do that on your behalf, and we go to the tax office and we sort all that out for you. But the vast majority of people and the vast majority of agents, consultants, whoever you're dealing with, won't do that, and it's not their job to do it. But without it, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be absolutely stuck, because you're going to get to the point of the notary's office. You haven't got a codice fiscale. You can't do anything. So I'm going to quickly answer this, and then if I'm going to ask you just to, what was that? The fact that there's so much free info from you is brilliant, and time, equipment, editing alone is an expense people forget about. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Paul. Okay, Tony, if you could hold the questions off just a little bit now, because I just want to just get through some of these. The tours are worth a lot more than they charge. It was a great experience. Thank you, Roger. I really appreciate that as well. Hopefully it is, you do find it value for money with that kind of thing. Okay, so codice fiscale. Let's just do a quick share, screen share. How do I do this? No, that's the wrong one. Why have I made myself smaller? There you go. Share my screen. So this is a quick way of doing it. And some of these, Tony, if you can give me a thumbs up just to say, even though I can't see anything, can you see the screen? Yes, he's giving me a thumbs up. Okay, so I need to go into this other tab. Let me make myself smaller. Wish I could do that in real life. Anyway, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to type in here now, Italian consulate, New York. You can tell I was preparing this early, can't you? Okay, so you go on to the Italian consulate, New York. Tony, I could just do with a quick thumbs up. Are you seeing all of this okay? Yeah, he's giving me a thumbs up. Okay, so all you do, this box on the top right here, you can change it to English afterwards, but this box in there, right, codice, and it will come up. Every one of them has this, codice fiscale pagina. Pagina is page. Click on that. Okay, then switch it to English. Then on this side here, it gives you all the information that you need. So if it's saying an Italian citizen requesting a codice fiscale needs to complete this, blah, 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 blah. Let me get rid of that. An Italian citizen who wants to request a certificate, that's still no good for us. A non-Italian citizen residing in the New York consular district, because you've always got to apply from the one that's local to you. This is whether you're in the UK. The UK is London, I think. Now, I think there may be one in Scotland as well. You have to find out where your local one is. And it says there, that's the application form. It says, we advise typing rather than handwriting, print it, sign it, scan it in PDF format to this address and include a copy of a valid passport, copy of a driving license or another document showing the applicant's current address. Click on that, off you go. This is what you need to fill out. The important part is, Tony, can you, yeah, you can see that. Can you give me a thumbs up again? It says, yeah, it's a little bit small, it says, which is fine. But this, the section, the allocation of a tax code, request for a new tax code. That's the bit that you need to be putting an X on like that. Then you don't need any of this because this is change of details, and then fill all your details out. So that is what you need to be doing. It's as simple as that. So wherever you are in the world, let's do another quick one in, sorry, I should have gone forward one. Let's have a look let's do the London one because the London one is all online. So same thing again, click on their website, go to this box. It's the same for every single consulate website. There it is again, codice fiscale. Then all you need to do, change it to English, read down here, and with this one, it's applications for an Italian tax code can be submitted online. Click on that, and off you go. There it is, all online. So different tax places, different consulates have different ways of doing it. Let me get rid of this. Stop sharing now. Stop sharing. Okay, there I am. Simple as that. If you find that for some reason there was one consulate that said that they couldn't do them or something, somebody contacted me and said that does no answer phones nor email, just silence. Chicago. I've heard that. I have heard that that Chicago are a little bit of a nightmare. But if you look at all the write-ups on these Italian consulates, there's not really many people that talk well of them. But just go on there, and a lot of the stuff will be online. Yes, you both need, whoever's going to be on the documents, you both need codice fiscale. It's free of charge. It tells you on the consulate websites they're free. So do it. Get on there and just do it. It doesn't mean that you start paying Italian taxes or anything like that, but you've got one one step out of the way. As I said, if you're using us, we will do it for you. But I've seen people that have said, what was this? Does this mean your one Saturday post, as you're doing now, will stop? No, absolutely, definitely not. No, the property videos will be there every Saturday. I'm trying to do them possibly twice a week. The property videos will be there constantly with no problem at all. So, as I was saying, yes, you do need a codice fiscale for each person. Go on there. I have known some people that have paid other companies to do codice fiscales, and they've been happy because they said it's all done. We know it's okay, and I understand all that. But when it's free, you just take a look at it and work it out. It is really easy to do. Send it in, and you'll get it. If you get one of these consulates that say the cards are no longer available and blah 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 blah, just keep looking down and you'll see at the bottom that you can get a paper version, because it seems like the paper ones they will give you, or they will sort them out quicker. So if it's saying that the cards are not available, don't worry, you just get the paper one. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. Now, what I want to, sorry, I'm having to read my list here. When you've been in touch with a notary, let's say like some of the people that contacted me this week that said, we're in discussions with this agent, I've signed this contract, is this okay? That drives me insane. Don't sign anything. Contact us. Let me know what you're doing before you do anything. If you're going to do that, let's just make sure that everything's all right. But if you're already at that stage, the first thing you want to know, who is the notary? Who's going to be doing this? Ask the agents this. Who is the notary? How much is it? Not just the notary fee. The notary fee and taxes are all included in one payment. So when they say the notary is going to cost you 5,000, that's very rarely that the actual notary fee is 5,000. That would be made up of fees, purchase fees and taxes as well. So ask them, does that include the fees and taxes? Can you tell me how much the fees and taxes are, as well as the notary fee? Ask them that. There should be no problem to get an overall cost of that. So it's so important. You need to know how much these taxes are, because you may all of a sudden have signed for something with no idea that the taxable value is quite high, and you're going to be charged a fortune. It's so important that you know this information. So it sounds stupid, but there's so many people that are making these decisions without asking the simple question. So who's the notary? How much is it? Does it include, because if you're not coming back here, you need to send money to the notary account. To send money to the notary account and for them to process the payment and give the owners a check, that usually costs about 500 euros. In Abruzzo, all the notaries are charging about 500 euros. Out of the area, I've heard 700 euros, I've heard 800 euros. Some areas I've heard 1,500 euros, which is just ridiculous. But you need to know all of these things. So ask the agents that. Who's the notary? How much is it going to cost me? Okay, so then, are you coming back to Italy? Are you coming to sign? Or is it a power of attorney? Have you organized that? Who's written the power of attorney? You need the notary to write the power of attorney, to give it to your agent. Somebody needs to translate that, because you're going to be going to a notary in your own country. So whether you're in the US, Canada, the UK, wherever you are, unless you're looking to find a notary that speaks Italian as well, they're going to give you an Italian document, and the notaries are going to say, well, you can't sign that info. You don't even understand what it is. It needs to be in English. So who's going to translate? What, you're going to do it on Google Earth, Google Translate? That's not how it works. So if you're not coming, you're doing power of attorney, what systems have they got in place? Can they send you the power of attorney? Because also then, if the power of attorney is in English, which it will be unless you find a notary that speaks Italian, then once it gets back to Italy, that needs translating into Italian for the notary. Because the notary here, unless they speak English, which most of them don't, won't accept an English document, because they'll say, well, I don't know if that's giving me power of attorney. You understand? I'm making it sound complicated. It's not complicated when you're dealing with people that know what they're doing. But if all of a sudden, the agent's saying, have you got a power of attorney? Have you sorted this? You're going to be like, oh my God, buying a property in Italy is a nightmare. It's not. You just need to know the system. I'm going through the citizen process. Should I apply for the codice fiscale before my recognition, or wait until after? Would it be the same number either way? It would be the same number. You may as well apply now. Just do it. I'm surprised that they didn't ask for that during your citizenship process, but you may as well do it. Okay, we sent in our codice fiscale requests on September 22nd and received them on November the 14th and 16th. Some places are really quick. Some places are taking a little bit longer. But if you're not planning on buying while next year, then just wait. If not, if you're planning on buying really quick or remote buying and you're going to use our services, then don't apply for it now. We'll just get it for you. Okay, so you need to be aware of the power of attorney. So if you're not coming back, have you got time to get that power of attorney? Because you don't just go to the notary where you are, sign in front of them, and they put the notary stamp on it. That's not enough. That works within the country where you are. So for instance, if you, Lorraine says she got hers in about a day. So if you are doing something in the US, I'm going to say the US, but it applies to everywhere, and you need a notary to say that they're your signatures, the notary can stamp it and send it to wherever. That's all right while it's within the US. As soon as it comes out of the US, that document has no legal, it means nothing. It needs the apostle stamp. So it needs to go to the Secretary of State. In the UK, it needs to go to the Foreign Office. In Canada, it has to be legalized. It's a completely different, a different way of doing it there. So you need to be aware of all these things, because if it goes to Secretary of State, sometimes it's okay. It can be back in a week. Sometimes it can take ages. Gene saying, Dave, our Philadelphia would not give me a codice fiscale because my passport was in my married name. Well, it depends how you've put your application on. They will give you a codice fiscale on whatever documents you've given them, but your name on the form and everything has to match up. Gene, if you send me I know we're seeing you soon anyway. If you send me an email, I can have a look. You just send me what you actually sent into them. So just make sure that the power of attorney, that you've got enough time to get the apostle stamp. So if you've already, again, a couple contacted me, we're signing within 3 weeks. You haven't even got an apostle stamp. So they've had to spend thousands on flights to get out here. So that's important. The next thing, are you paying deposits? Who are the deposits going to? Have you sorted out your money transfer? Have you sorted out how you're going to send your dollars or pounds or whatever it is to change it into euros? Now, all of you know that we do our live streamings with David Nixon, who's great. Look back at some of the live streams that we've done talking about this kind of thing. Set your accounts up. Get them all straight. Because if not, you're going to be sending money from your bank account. Not only are you going to be surprised with all these extra costs that you've got to do, but also you're going to get the worst exchange rate, because you've not set everything up. You've not prepared yourself. So get your accounts open with Currencies Direct. Look back at some of the live streams we've done. You'll see it in the description. Click it in there and you'll be able to set up a free account. Agree a date. The important thing is you give yourself some time. Don't think that everything's going to be done in 2 or 3 weeks. I have done a signing in, I think the quickest was a week to 10 days. It is possible, but you need to be here to do that kind of thing. If we've got to organize all these other things, it takes a little bit more time. I would say up to 3 months. Usually you can do it, I would say, in, easily within a month. But if you say up to 3 months, but when you agree the date, don't agree the date on what the agent's wanting to do, because they just want their thing signed. And no disrespect to them, they're in the business to earn commission, but they want it done as soon as possible. If you're not coming back to sign, it can't be done as soon as possible. And tell them, say, but I haven't got my tax code, because they're not going to ask you. They're going to just presume that you've got everything. And if not, you're already signed into a contract. They've already got their money, more than likely, from somebody. And all of a sudden, you're in a situation where you're dealing with somebody that it's not their fault. They don't really care whether it goes ahead or not. They've had the money. And you've sent a deposit to somebody and you're thinking, oh, I'm on my own. Shouldn't be like that. It's a simple process. It should not be like that. Lorraine saying, David Nixon has my money in euros, just waiting for the green light, seamless and stress-free. Again, Lorraine's organized. She's changed the money. She's got it there ready for when we do the signing for a brilliant place that she's getting as well. That's what it's all about, getting, as we say, your ducks in a row. What else have I said? Agree a date. Translator, if you're coming, have you got a translator ready? If you're here and you want to sign, then you need a translator, and you need a translator copy. Has somebody organized that? Have you been given a price for that? The estate agent may say, well, give power of attorney to me. Fine, I can understand that, but for me, you still want to know what's going off in your own language, wherever possible. But if you say, okay, I'll give power of attorney to you to sign for my behalf. So you can literally fly out, you both go to the notary, you sign I've done this quite a few times. In fact, Anita, that was on earlier, unfortunately, I had to cancel her signing, but she signed a power of attorney while we were there. Instead of doing the actual signing, she signed a power of attorney to me, and then if the documents were ready straight away, I can then sign just in Italian. That's fine. But that power of attorney document needs translating. That's going to be done in Italian. So have you got a translator for that? You can't get out of the way. You can't sort of get out of translations and things like that. Don, I use the Currency Direct app today. It said they don't support the US. Not sure if the app does, Don, but get in touch with me, and I'll send a message to David Nixon. I'm not sure about how the app works on that. So there's translators needed at some stage, whether you're here or whether you're not. So it's not just a simple thing of let's go and do it. It can be if people know what they're doing and know the system. Because what they're thinking is what a lot of estate agents are thinking is it's a transaction just like it would be from an Italian to an Italian. It's not. It's completely different. There's so many other things that need to be done. And if you've got that ticking clock, it's stress, stress, stress. And usually when people are in the middle of the stress, that's when they start reaching out to people. Start reaching out to me, start reaching out maybe to lawyers, start things end up costing you more. And that's because you've gone into something that's not your fault, but you've gone into something because you're excited, because you've seen this amazing house. You just think, I've got to have it, got to have it, got to have it. There's ways that you can delay things. It doesn't mean that you have to sign next week. If somebody says to you, yeah, we can do this, we can get it tied up before Christmas, you're going to be there, yes, what a brilliant Christmas present. I can hear you. So many people say it. Fantastic Christmas present. I'm getting my house in Italy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I've got, without actually thinking, well, hang on a minute. Are there any time constraints? And you think afterwards, it's no good. I hate talking to you like this, but so many people do it. It's unbelievable. And that's why, for me, tonight is more relevant than ever because of this new thing where people are doing remote buying. You've got to be ready. And people are watching channels, and I see some of the questions that people ask, and I think, is that person that is giving you the advice? I saw one the other day, and somebody mentioned about they were looking on this veranda, and the guy said, you know, it was an English person that was doing it. They said, you can close this up. You know, that would be great because you can make an extra room. No, you can't. You can't just do that. It's not how it works. The same people were saying, and then you could maybe knock this wall down. No, you can't. Why are these people allowed to give advice like that? Are they registered in some way? I'm not saying they need to be estate agents. I'm not, as I keep saying. But, you know, somebody's got to take responsibility for advice. It's not right just that and there's so much excitement that goes into all of this that people don't see things right. You just get excited, and I understand that completely, because we all do. You get excited about it. I'm buying a new camera to do some filming. That's my life at the moment, looking at these cameras. And there's been sort of 10 that have been close to buying, and then I've read something. I thought, oh God, no, actually, no, that's not going to be right for me. And it's that kind of thing. But we're talking about a house. We're talking about thousands. So, and it's dead easy for somebody else to say, yeah, we can make it happen. Can you really? Ask those questions, because it's so important. And like I said, people that's giving advice and people saying, but contact me first. Who are you? Why contact you first? You know, we deal, our video properties are with agents. You come through me because you're not going to be charged through these agents, and I can offer you the services. I don't do the negotiations or anything like that. That's done with the estate agent, but they're not going to charge you. But I can back up what I'm saying and back up and get you to the point where you need to be. And hopefully we can do that with other properties. If you've seen a property, maybe it's with a private seller. We're doing a number of those at the minute. Private seller, you send me there, that's fine. We'll go, we'll do the video, we'll do everything right. The private seller's happy because they didn't have a clue how to organize anything either. And all of a sudden you've got a geometer on board, you know, me there that could be your power of attorney, and things start falling into place. And that's how it should be done. And I dare say there are agents there as well that will help to get to that point. But you need to ask these questions. They're so important. Stamps, the cost of fees and our services. Yeah, usually I send PDFs out to people, but the new website will have everything on there. But if you do want to see that, send me an info at home in Italy, an email. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say then as well, once the house is yours, have you organized somebody to help changing all the bills over into your names? So many people write on social media, well, that should be the agent's job. No, it shouldn't. Why is that the agent's job? I've never bought a house that we bought in the UK or whatever else. I don't expect, could you imagine knocking on the estate agent's door and saying, can you put the electric bill in my name? I know what they would say in the UK. They'd be like, what do you want from me? But you've got to do that when you're here. If not, let's say if all the electrics and everything's on and you're coming to see your house in a month's time, but nobody's changed the bills, what's the owner going to do? The first thing they're going to do is cut it off. Of course they're going to do. And then you're not only don't have anything in your name, but you've got no electric and anything else when you come on. Little things like that. Think about the after services that you need as well. The bad thing about these types of live streams is I'm coming across, and I don't like this at all, that buying a property here is a nightmare. Use my services and I'll make it so it's not a nightmare. It's a great system. Obviously, I want you to use our services. It's a fantastic system, but you just need to use the right people and don't stress yourself out with time. Make sure it's done properly. Make sure codice fiscale, translators, power of attorneys, these are all important. If you're coming back, codice fiscale, translator, you're still going to need one at some point. They're the main things. Bank account, you don't really need one. You can send that to send it to the notary. Have you got all the notary costs? Have they told you the taxes? Are they happy to do a double language act? Some of them may not. Some of them may say, I don't want to do 2 languages, we do Italian. So you have to have a translator. Some of them will say that. Find out how much all of these are going to cost, how much it costs to send it to the notary's account and for them to write the check. They're all important bits of information. But as I said to you before, the buying process here is fantastic. Just get to know the right people. Stamps, your codice fiscale lasts forever. Once you've been given that, you can change it in some instances, but once you've got your codice fiscale, that's your codice fiscale. Okay, so I hope you found that one useful. Sorry for giving our services a bit of a plug at the start, but they're all things, the new things we're going to do. As I said, none of this is going to change. Everything, we're not gearing everything up to suddenly go down the line of it becomes a special club that you've all got to be part of, and all of a sudden these Tuesday nights are going to fall on the... No, everything is staying the same. There's just some additional things if people want to go that little bit further, because we feel now it's come to that stage of the business where people are at different stages. And the great thing is, even if you're at stage A, where you're saying, I'm in the first part of my search, I know nothing about Italy, I know nothing about buying, you are just as important as those at C, because I want to get you to the part when you're buying. That's what my job is. And if that means holding your hand right up to that stage, that's fine. That's what we do. That's why we do this every I was going to say Thursday again. Is this water? It is. That's why we do these every Tuesday. Yes, Paul, we can help in certain parts of Puglia, yes. But again, wherever you're buying in Italy, if you just need somebody on your side, there's going to be some service that we can do. Okay, guys, thank you so much. That was an hour. I'm quite pleased with myself about that one. Don't forget, next week, I forgot what is next week's. What's next week's, Tony? Can I just take over the screen a minute? Let me just have a quick look. Next week, the 28th of November. Oh, yeah, it's the My Abruzzo special edition. We've got some great people that's been on the tours. They're going to tell you a little bit. Remember, 5th of December, cost of living. 12th, meet the home buyers. That's going to be a great one. 19th, the big, massive Christmas party where you're just going to sit and watch me drink Abruzzese wine. Just doesn't get any better, does it? Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all your support as usual. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. Perfect timing, Tony. Perfect. Thank you, Lorraine. See you next week.